Hey guys, welcome back to Dmac Customs, or if it's your first time, welcome to Dmac Customs. Today's video we're just going to do a little chasing pinholes and maybe fill up a couple of speed holes. Okay, so as mentioned, we're going to be chasing some pinholes. Now, when I got this car, as I mentioned before, there's a few repairs that had already been done here and there, namely in the floors. Had some work done in here, but not this back section. Well, someone had cut this piece here out, and also cut this lot here out, I think when they've done the floors. But I was done underneath the other day. Well, there's an obvious hole there and another one there, but I was under here the other day and I could see sort of various spots of light shining through. So what I'm going to do today is go through and kind of find all those little pinholes and just put a little plugs of weld in there and there, just fill them up. Same on both sides over there as well. And yeah, one of the ways I like to sort of look for pinholes is to actually just put a lead light underneath the car. I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but you can see all the little stars of light there. It's like a night sky. So I want to fill those up. Okay, the other thing I want to do today, hopefully, is remove these two old speed holes, which were from the old brake and clutch pedals that come up through the floor. Since I'm not going to be needing those anymore, I'm going to cut those out and weld a couple of little plates in there. I'll keep it pretty tight to what the holes were, so I might just, rather than unpick the spot welds, I might just cut them out, because that one looks a little bent up under there. Yeah, it is. It's rubbed at some point, probably a bad body mount or something. But so what I'll do is I'll probably cut up here. There's a slight swage there, so I'll cut that out, come up around here, come up through here, cut some little plates and weld them in. Stay tuned. While I was cleaning up, getting some clean steel to start sort of taking care of the night sky pinholes, I sort of got a bit carried away and started looking at this whole back area and got the old wire wheel, all missed a bit. Sort of clean off this primer and some of the surface rust and shit that was there, and look for any other pinholes and plug welds that weren't really tidy and things like that. So I thought I might sort of kind of get distracted and hit some of this stuff and clean it up and whatnot. Also found that, well, didn't find it, I forgot about it. I actually cut a patch for it ages ago, but I can't find it now, so I have to make another one, start again. The light in here is really bad, it's so hard to see, but this is a couple of repairs and stuff that have been done in the past, but not bad. But it's just little bits like that, little holes that I'll go around and I'll just plug those up and make sure they're nice and tidy and clean up. Some of the welds, it's pretty ripply, but not a lot I can do about that now without cutting it all out and doing it again, which I don't really want to do. Okay, so I changed my mind. Decided to do the higher stuff first and work my way down onto the floor. So I'm going to do this little patch panel here. I'm just in the process of sort of cutting a piece to go in here. This is going to be tricky to cut out though, getting a cutting disc into here without cutting through what I don't want to cut through. So I might cut it across there and sort of grind it down and pick it apart. But yeah, this is essentially my piece. Take care of this rusty stuff. What I'm going to do is put it about there, but I want to put that little swage back in it. That's my lines I want to follow. About there, that'll do. Back soon. Okay, so I've got to try and knock this little sort of swage into this piece here. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. It's not too important because it's going to be covered up with interior door panels and that anyway, but it'd be kind of nice to make it look like it's supposed to be there. So I might just try. It's a pretty blunt curve in there. Going out. One of these, don't know what it is. Gonna get me one day. Not too bad. We'll go and test fit it now and see what it's like. Okay, so test fit's not too bad, so I might just mark that, cut that. If it was an exterior piece I'd probably spend a bit more time on it, but I think it'll be good enough for where it's got to go. Stuff on my pen. Oh, that move, I think it did. Inside lines. Always take more out. Whenever possible, I try to convert the rust and spray a little bit of black etch in behind things if I'm doing a repair like this, just to kind of seal it up. It was pretty scaly and scody in there, so just squirted some in there just now. Wait for that to dry enough so I don't set fire to anything before I start welding it in. Might have clean up, made a bit of a mess. I also like to paint the backside of things too. Okay, so I've pretty much welded in, well, finished welding up all these pinholes and various other little bits and bobs, and sort of finished welding this part of the floor, and just got to kind of clean it all up. Before I do that, I'm going to put this patch panel in for there that I made earlier, so hopefully it fits still. You can see that it fits not too bad. It's pushed in a bit at the bottom there, but I'll be able to get in behind there and push it back out. So I might just get a couple of tacks on there and get these magnets out of the way, because they're a pain. I could use my butterfly clamps, but they're all the way over there, so I think I'll just use the magnets. What the fuck is going on with that? Bad earth. Blasted in. I just kind of hit it all at once. I didn't worry about it cooling down too much. It's just a piece for on the inside here. As with the swage, if it was for something external, I'd be a lot more patient and welding at home, probably, maybe. But yeah, right, that's that. Now I've got to grind all this back and probably open up some more holes that then I have to come back through and weld up as well. All done. Welded in, ground up, ground back some of this other stuff, and just got to get some finish sanding it and get some etch primer on here, just sort of seal it all up so keep the tin worm at bay. I'll show you that when it's all done. Got all the bit of sanding done and cleaning stuff up. I didn't go nuts sanding it, it's just interior stuff, but a bit of black etch on there, seal it all up from this side at least anyway. Even hit the parcel tray and all the other bits of the floor that I'm mucking around on today. Yeah, pretty happy with today's progress, but pretty hard on a bloke's knees, crouched in the back of here all day. Got a few new burns. That's all good. Not as bad as the between the toes burn, but a couple of new ones nonetheless. Just a little side note, I still didn't get onto those holes in the front. Maybe later in the weekend I'll get over there. Hey guys, welcome back. Well, it's about 2 days later now, and I'm going to get back onto the floor on the Area 51, and then that'll be pretty much all the sheet metal work done on the floor that I want to do. It'll be just prep and paint and stuff after that later on, not straight away. So let's get into it. I'm going to do those 2 brake and clutch holes and then get rid of those. Let's go. So these are the 2 bits I'm gonna cut out and weld some patches in today. As you can see, I've sort of marked out where I'm going to cut, and it'll be pretty straightforward. Then I'll sort of clean up and get some clean steel around there, cut some little patches and weld them in. Okay, so I've cut out the 2 pieces out of the firewall, the old brake and clutch holes, and I thought they cut out pretty clean. They're just going to be little flat replacements that go back in, so I'm just going to trace them around a bit of some 1mm stock sheet that I've got here,
and cut them out, clean them up, and weld them in. See, cool, eh? Wreck lever. Hopefully they fit. I've labelled them too, so I know which ones go in which holes. So always a good idea. Otherwise, you end up welding the wrong one in the wrong hole and have to start again. So I just got to cut these out and get into it. Got these little patches all cut, ready to go in. See, I used some butterfly clamps this time. I didn't clamp it all the way around. They're only small, so they just need to hold it in place, and I'll just squeeze them up with my finger and tack them in, and then yeah, get welding. Take the clamps out of the way. Good times. I had to let it cool off for a little bit so I don't get too much heat in here and the old wavy warpage. While I'm waiting for it to cool, I'll find my butterfly clamp bits. Okay, so it's about 2 hours since I was last at this. I've spent ages looking for that little what do we call it, the little square bar thing from the butterfly clamp, but found it. It was in plain sight. But yeah, carry on welding now. Let's get to it. Okay, so that's that pretty much welded in, or first pass anyway. What I'll do is I'll kind of grind that back, get a lead light behind it, see if I can find any little holes and stuff that I've missed, and then yeah, do the final clean up, make sure I've got everything. Overall, that should be it. So we're all finished grinding back that. I've touched up a few little pinholes and stuff, and got a few new welding burns, and almost had a scrub fire with forearm here, but we got there. Don't like to go too hard grinding all this stuff on these early 50s Chevs, even though this is my first one, because I've discovered that a lot of the sheet metal is really thin, so if you get too carried away trying to get a file finish, you just start eating into the surrounding steel and there's nothing holding the patch in. So alright, gonna have a bit of a clean up, chuck a bit of etch primer on here just to seal it for now. We'll get back into all of this later, real good wire wheel and stuff before we have, you know, get ready to put some underbody stuff and maybe some lizard skin or something like that down on it. Don't know what you guys use, but I'm thinking of trying lizard skin. Never used it before. It's pretty expensive here in New Zealand, but by all accounts it's really good, so might give that a crack. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and yeah, I'll just clean this up. I'll give you a rundown in a minute on all what's going on with all the rest of the floor. So I just thought I'd do a quick sort of explanation of what's going on here. Earlier in the video you've probably seen what's going on with this sort of stuff here, with the drive shaft tunnel and those little sort of add-ons in the back there, and what's going on here. If you've watched some of the other videos, you'll see I'm putting an LS1 and a 4L60E into this Area 51 Fleetline. To do that, I sort of decided to modify the tunnel and take a bit out of the firewall and whatnot. So that's what this is all about, just clearancing for the different transmission. We'll be having a nice lock-arm shifter in here when we get that far. These plates here, these are doubler plates. Here in New Zealand we've got pretty strict rules as far as getting modified vehicles on the road. They call it the low volume certification. So these mounts are for the 65 Ford Thunderbird seats that are going in here. So we've got doubler plates. We've got plates like this on the underside and on the top side. They're just to support the seat mounts and stuff like that, and they have to have special fancy expensive rivets called monol rivets, some kind of nickel alloy, I think alien technology possibly, I'm not sure. Back into the back here, light's terrible, sorry about that. Doing a split drive shaft in here, so underneath this here area somewhere, maybe around about here, is the what do you call it, the joint thing, the center bearing, yeah. And so to get the clearance for the drive shaft I had to do lots of science, and hopefully I got it right to work out how high I needed to build this rear section of the drive shaft tunnel. And I'm pretty sure I got it right, but yeah, because of the step up notch and whatnot. And these pieces here on both sides, these are like little kind of relief buckets I had to sort of make to allow for the top bracketry on the 4-link mounts and stuff. The triangulated bars mount just under here on the chassis, and so I needed to cut a relief into under the seat pan to allow for that travel of the up and down. Again, hopefully I've got it right, pretty sure I have. The rest of the floor, this is still some of the old original floor, as you can tell by the pitting and crap like that. This section from the bottom of the toe board up through the middle here, the previous owner replaced all of this very kindly. They got new body to floor braces and underfloor braces. A lot of it was all sort of done and finished, but there was still a lot of plug welds that hadn't been finished up underneath, which I think I got them all, but once we get the body off the chassis, I'll be digging into all of that again, just to make sure it's all stitched in there properly on the underside and clean up any daggy shit. Yeah, once all this is once I've finished doing all the welding and stuff in here, I've still got a bit more stuff to do on the firewall, but it's stuff to do up on the B pillars. As we get close to finishing all the fabrication on this car, it's when I'll get in here and clean all this up properly and prep it all up for paint or under seal or whatever we decide to do in there. Some sound deadening, some heat protection, stuff like that. So if you like this video and you want to see some more progress on the old 51 Fleetline, bit overspray fumes, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and the little bell for the notifications. Got any comments or questions, just pop them down below. You know what to do. Peace, see you next time.